Hello, Decatur Central. I'm Jody Rouse coming at you from Coach's Corner, and today I have Tyrese Burnett from Boys Basketball Varsity. Hello, Tyrese. How are you today, man?
I'm doing good, Jody. Waking up morning, thankful.
Hey, man, absolutely. I'm coming off a loss, of course, yesterday against Ben Davis, but from the game and how people seen it, especially in the first half, the way you controlled the game and the pace of it. How did that really seem like to you? How do you let the game come to you in a sense?
Like I feel like since our last Tuesday game, since Warren Central, I feel like I got more comfortable with the ball. So I got to be more comfortable with the ball if I'm gonna be the point guard of this team.
Absolutely. Being the point guard isn't really easy, and the way you handle the ball, this game and Warren's game, of course, it really seemed like you knew what you were doing. If you always had that skill, of course, conducting the offense, running the plays, being aggressive on the ball. When you go into practice, what are some things that you really focus on, in the midst of, those skills that you're trying to improve on?
I really focus on, getting downhill, be able to use my package more. The driver kick always gonna be there. All that always gonna be. I work on everything in practice. So,
You know, um, Seeing that, you're in a very aggressive, player offensively, but defensively, a lot of guys, see your wingspan and see that, oh, this guy, he can steal the ball so easily. But on the perimeter side and your lateral quickness, of course, guarding me and, guarding other great players, especially from the Ben Davis game, you seem to really, be disciplined, guarding Mark White, guarding Mark Zachary, of course, guarding KJ, all those players. How are you very comfortable and very disciplined on a defensive end, of course?
I feel like my game really comes from the defensive side, so I gain a lot of confidence on the defensive side when I play.
So, seeing that defensive side of you, of course, and, as a team, y'all work on defense a lot. Of course,
Yeah.
Coach Serb told me about that too. Y'all spend half y'all practice almost
Something like that, yeah.
going on defense. But seeing that from this game and, some key takeaways that you've probably seen, what as a team that, y'all could probably improve on for Friday's game at Greenwood?
From Tuesday game, I'll say that we ain't really get back transition defense well. We started turning the ball over. We got sped up a little bit. If we keep those, like that can't happen again, I feel like we're gonna have way more wins this season.
Absolutely. And seeing that, the team is, very dependent on defense, but also, having a great offensive conductor like you, Malachi, Casey, of course, handling the ball well, able to really do anything on the floor, that you guys want to, being comfortable with the ball, seeing that, you guys faced Greenwood last season and you guys won in overtime. Coming into that game, getting ready for Friday, what are some things that we can really look forward to coming up?
We gonna be attacking inside out because I don't really think they that big. So for sure, attack inside out because they ain't got no height over there.
Of course, Greenwood being small, but also being quick. Seeing that a lot of, sharpshooters, you guys play Plainfield, Mooresville, seeing that a lot of shooters come from those, teams, especially, from Greenwood. As you said, they don't have a lot of height, but, some ways on the defensive side of things, what are, communication? Do you guys really hope to, build that communication? Because Ben Davis' game, not a lot of communication was there that the audience seen.
Yeah, I feel like we gotta talk more. And me as a point guard, like I gotta put people in the right spots, and I gotta get people there to the spots. And we gotta talk more on the defensive side.
Of course, being a varsity starter last season, sophomore year, being a JV starter freshman year, of course, seeing that, the coaches said that you're a great leader, on the floor, off the floor, not having the game really coincide and mess with your head, of course, what were those things, going from summer, spring workouts, what were some things that you seen yourself improve on as a leader and not just as a player?
I improve as a defensive leader. I feel like I could lead my team by example on the defensive side. Like if I play hard defense on top of the key, they gonna come and play hard defense.
Absolutely. Seeing that Greenwood on Friday is who y'all playing, for snow coming, of course. Being excited for that, seeing that Malachi and you, Casey, Aiden, that whole varsity team, the chemistry is still there. As you said, some things that y'all can improve on, but it just comes with due time, and a lot of people in Decatur Central are very, very excited for this team. Y'all do have the best record so far right now, of course, just with a little, minor bumps and bruises. But as a leader, you've been able to show what Decatur basketball really is, not being able to, get angry at your teammates, but more so tell them, give them constructive criticism, and telling them like, hey, this is what is happening. This is how we can fix it. Even seeing that in practice sometimes, being that leader that not a lot of people see or hear. You do it with your actions, of course. And a lot of people are excited to see what you bring to the table, especially coming in this season. Of course, losing to Ben Davis, but you guys, get up quickly. You guys, brush it off, and you guys go on to the next game like nothing happened. So, of course, Friday, Greenwood and Decatur Central, no height, but as you said, you can't really be too comfortable, and I think honestly this is gonna be a good game. But, in your respective stance, how do you feel like the outcome of the game will be?
I feel like if we come out, apply pressure on the defensive side, like we like the best defensive team if we apply pressure and we go down and score the ball off transition buckets. So if we could do that on Friday, I feel like we're going to have a good chance of winning.
Absolutely. I honestly have, nothing else to say. I'm very excited for this, of course, Tyrese. So I'm thankful for, having you here and bringing you on Coach's Corner today to really talk to you about, this game and then the upcoming game for Greenwood. So that's pretty much it, Thank you, Tyrese.
Thanks for having me, Jody.
Hey, thank you, too. Welcome back, y'all, to Coach's Corner. Of course, we have Coach Carothers, girls varsity basketball. How are you today, Coach Carothers?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Seeing that your team, of course, lost to Danville, but, some ways to improve as a whole, as you said, before you came on here. What were some key takeaways that you seen from that game?
I felt like we moved the ball a lot better in the game, but shots were not falling for us that night. Girls played really, really hard. Nobody played selfish basketball. Danville's a good team. I think they've only lost 2 or 3 on the year. They just lost in double overtime to Plainfield in their county tournament. So they're a good program. Got a really good coach over there. She's a friend of mine. But they outworked us on the boards, and we just missed shots, man. But so we're 2-2 in the last 4 games. So just trying to get some consistency going in the sectionals. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this week against Greenwood.
Of course, being 2-2, just being neutral, but of course, being consistent with the wins, seeing that, as you said, your team didn't, attack the board, and of course, a lot of teams, tend to not crash the board so much, seeing that they just want the ball to really come to them rather than attacking it. Yeah. So, in practice, what were some ways to really improve those, performances, shots not falling, of course, as you said, not attacking the board?
Well, we're just doing a lot of individual small group work. really honing in on fundamentals, honing in on competing the right way, and physicality. You know what I mean? We're not a tall team. My starting five is 5 guards. You know what I mean? So even the young ladies who are playing in the post position, which is we really play in a 5 out, you know, and with 2 guards in a dunker spot, and they all can spread the floor, they all can shoot the ball. We don't have a traditional big right now, which is fine. You know, we're playing fast and letting it fly a little bit. You know what I mean? And kids like that up pace type of, you know, basketball. But we just have to do a really good job of boxing out with it being undersized to really try to secure those rebounds. So asking them to, hey, go sacrifice your body, go hit somebody first before you go and try to jump after the basketball and secure that position to get the rebound is something that we're just trying to be consistent with.
Absolutely. You know, attacking the board, as you said. Mm-hmm. Seeing that, you know, that Danville game, of course, seeing the other 2 games in the past, 4 games?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Seeing those games, you know, and constant improvement that, you know, you've seen, you know, whether it's a win or a loss, you know, you always seek to improve, you know, your girls, of course. And, you know, coming into this game versus Greenwood on Friday, what are some things that, you know, you see the girls doing against Greenwood?
No, we just have to play at our pace. We have to really just focus in on ourselves. You know what I mean? It's hard to say what you know you would have done or could have done in the past. You really kind of internalize and look at what can we do better. You know, we need to get more assists. When we have had games of 12 or more assists, we haven't lost. You know, so we just need to share the ball, continue to take shots that are created for you in the flow of the offense, box out and go get the rebound, go get those 50-50 balls. We have to come up with more of those than the other team, you know, and compete at the right way for us. You know, play at our pace, you know, make them be uncomfortable, make them go to areas of the court we want them to go, that we're comfortable with them being in, and just play as a team, man. We'll be fine.
Absolutely, you know, and your team, of course, plays as a team, as you have on your shirt, one team, you know.
One family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that saying.
Yeah.
Really, I do. Boys and girls, you know, you both play as a team. You both play as a family. Off the court, you guys act like a family, you know. And as you said when you first came on Coach's Corner, you know, you seek to really, off the court, you know, have these, you know, girls develop skills other than basketball.
Right.
You know, and seeing that and, you know, seeing the girls off the court, helping out, stuff like that, you know, a lot of people are excited for Friday's doubleheader.
Snow coming, man. It's snow coming. It's a big thing, you know. So everybody's really excited. We have senior night during snow coming, too. Heaven Thompson, she's our lone senior. We'll be celebrating her accomplishments on and off the court. She's going to UND to play ball next year. She's been a tremendous addition for us this season. She leads us in plus minus, you know, so it's hard to keep her off the court. You know what I mean? Like, she does the things statistically that don't always show up in the stat sheet. She's always got good energy. She was voted, you know, a captain her first year here at Decatur. She's a great kid, comes from a great family. I mean, she's playing good basketball. She's playing good basketball, and she tries to hold everybody accountable. You know what I mean? Her younger sister, plays on the team too, and she's on her sister just as much as she's on anybody else. You know, so it's not just to 1 or 2 people. Like, she's kind of consistent with everybody. So I really love that about her. And you know, this senior night is special for her because you know, her eligibility was up in the air. You know, with her, she had a death in the family. End up, you know, having to change schools. Fought for her eligibility. I just say granted it, you know, and now we're just trying to enjoy her last year. So we're excited about Friday. You know, we're gonna enjoy senior night as a team and celebrate heaven. Celebrate heaven. Hopefully with a win.
Absolutely. You know, of course, celebrating, you know, that senior night for heaven, of course, and you know, being a leader isn't easy.
Nah.
Absolutely not. Nah. Being a leader isn't easy, especially being the only senior.
Only senior.
Yeah. So it's definitely not easy, but the way she handles herself and the way that, you know, she cares for the team, like a bunch of little sisters and just that one big sister, you know, it's just beautiful to see, you know, and of course, all of us in Decatur Central is excited for what the girls and boys are going to do. But that's pretty much all I have for you today.
Thanks for having me.
You know,
Thanks for having me.
absolutely. You know, thank you for coming on here and, you know, sharing what, you know, the team could improve on, you know, the great things, you know, even some of the negatives, you know. So
You gotta tell the truth, man.
of course, absolutely. But everybody, I'm Jody from Coach's Corner. You know, Decatur Central. We have, of course, Coach Carothers for varsity girls basketball. And I'll see you on Friday for Decatur Central versus Greenwood Woodman.